If I had my way, everything would be so nice. This world would be like Paris. No, it would be a paradise. No one would ever have to say, I'm going to get my wish someday. All one would have to do is say, this is my order, if you may.
Welcome to another episode of the School Without Walls. I am founder, Dr. Antonio Hobbs, host and founder of this program. The date is October the 27th, 2016. Boy, I went back to 2016. The purpose of this program, this educational program, is to provide education, motivation, with emphasis on the achievement of African Americans, and in order to inspire our young people to be the very best they can be. Today my guests are the Reverend Louis Ross and his wife, Reverend Jacqueline Ross, who are owners of a wonderful ministry called the Delta Network Food Bank. Is that correct?
Yes.
Glad to have you all again. And this is our second episode. We've done one before, and today we're going to start with what, Reverend Mrs. Jack Ross? What are we going to start with today?
Today, Dr. Hobbs, we'd like to remind our viewing audience again of what it is that we do at the Delta Network Food Bank. We have a hunger relief program, and the program is offered through Delta Regional Community Services Outreach Network, which is the umbrella operation with a 501c3 IRS designation. Under that umbrella, we have the Delta Network Food Bank. I'd like to give you some of the major concentrations of the Delta Regional Community Services Outreach Network before we go into talking more about the food bank. Its major concentration is to meet the needs of the underserved population residing in the Arkansas Delta region, which has the highest level of poverty in the state of Arkansas. Our program uses 3 methods to eliminate hunger and provide food subsidy to individuals who are underserved. Our first method is to establish pantries with already existing pantries, or to develop new pantries in these counties that are being served in the Arkansas Delta region. And the purpose of the pantries, we all know, is to subsidize the nutrition that the individuals are receiving currently. We are not providing total nutrition, but we subsidize the nutrition they're receiving. We do this by having citywide mass distributions of food on a scheduled basis, utilizing convention centers and other community centers in the various counties that we operate. And we provide charitable meals to low-income, underserved individuals, including the adults, the elderly, veterans, homeless veterans, and what we have defined as the working class poor. I think we mentioned that during our last broadcast, and those are the individuals who have jobs, most times with minimal wages or substandard wages, and their income is not sufficient to meet all of their basic needs. We're getting ready for an event that we're going to have this year. It's an annual event. This will be our 13th annual operation at the Pine Bluff Convention Center. It is a hunger relief operation, and we focus on making sure that we have food there to give to the individuals who register. Our target is to those individuals who are low income. Aside from the food, we will also have toys for underprivileged children. We'll have household items, and we will have clothing that they are allowed to go through and receive a set of clothing for each of their family members. We have a wonderful registration process where the individuals are moved in, and we're excited this year that we are having Bishop Chester Thompson to come and join us with his Kids Crusade ministry. And that's usually very exciting, not only for the kids, but for the adults as well. So we're looking forward to that. The date for that event is December 17th, beginning at 10 o'clock at the Pine Bluff Convention Center.
Where is that center located? Do you know the street it's located on?
It is off 8th Street. I don't know the exact, well, it's number 1 Convention Center Plaza. That's the address.
Right off 8th Street.
Right off 8th
You
Street.
can see it from 8th Street going south, right? On 8th
Going east.
Street.
East on 8th Street.
East on 8th
It's
Street.
right there near the Workforce Alliance, the Comprehensive Care
Right past
Building.
the post office?
Right past the post office.
All right, then. We should
Yes.
have about a couple of minutes before the break. That's an excellent program, I can see. You mentioned some bishop. Tell me a little bit about this bishop and what he's going to do there. Bishop, I didn't get the name. Bishop, somebody.
His name is Bishop Chester Thompson.
And he
will come to the convention center. He had a mobile ministry, a truck at first. Now he has downsized to a trailer, and it has all of the insignias on the trailer, and it's called, it's sponsored by the John Kelley Edwards Bible Institute. So he will bring more than likely the music, a puppet show, and we'll have a presentation that will talk about Christmas around America.
Where is he from? What part of the state?
He's from Camden, Arkansas.
Camden, Arkansas.
Yes.
And he will be in there to give support to the entertainment aspect of what you're doing, right?
Yes, he will.
Uh-huh.
He's also a member of the Delta Network organization, so that's what his function will be, to
I
give
see.
support for the entertainment.
All right, then we're going to stop here in just a few minutes, and hopefully when we come back, we'll get a few words from the CEO, Reverend Lewis Ross. I think most of this was done by Mrs. Ross. Is that right?
Yes.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Back in just a few minutes.
1 in 8 people in America struggle with hunger. For that one person, it isn't always clear where their next meal is coming from. That's why one meal can make all the difference. It begins when a meal like this comes through the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks. Before a meal can get to someone's table, it comes from a food pantry or meal program. There are 60,000 of these pantries and programs across America. They're places where many volunteer to help their struggling neighbors by supplying them with the meals they need. Before going there, this meal came from a food bank, a member of the Feeding America nationwide network that collects and distributes food. And before the food bank, before the food pantries and meal programs, this meal began with something else, an act of kindness. $1, one donation, 1 hour of someone's time. These acts of kindness come from businesses, farmers, national and state programs, and people like you. Together, these acts spread through the Feeding America network to bring meals to more than 46 million people every year. From one act of kindness to a food bank, pantry, or meal program, one meal can make a difference to the ones who need it most. Together, we can solve hunger. Give today at feedingamerica.org to help bring more meals to Americans struggling with hunger.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Dr. Antony Hobbs, host of this educational program called The School Without Walls. My guest today, or the Reverend Lewis Ross and his wife, Mrs. Jacqueline Ross, both are ministers, and the title, the name of the organization, the nonprofit corporation, is Delta Network Food Bank. And on the other side of the break, Reverend Mrs. Ross was talking about the events that's coming up on the 17th of December, held at the Convention Center here in the Pine Bluff near 8th Street, right
Yes.
past the post office. Now, Reverend Mr. Ross, you said during the break that you might talk a little bit about the progress, as I understand it, that has been made up to this point. I understand that it's been, 13 years you've been in this.
13 years, that's
So
right.
say, what do you have to say about that?
Yes, first of all, there was a scripture come up in my mind this morning. It was Psalms 41. It said, "Blessed is the man that considers the unfortunate. The Lord would be with him in the time of trouble. The Lord would deliver him and honor him. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. So I think that where it says that the Lord will preserve him, that means that he'll keep you young looking.
Okay.
For doing some of the things that we're doing here.
And healthy, no doubt.
Healthy,
And healthy,
yes.
yes. And he'll keep the enemy off of you because of the fact you're right in the will and the heart of God. Over the period of time, we have been out there for about 16, 18 years, maybe a little more. And we have really, really moved by the Spirit of God. And so we thank God for today, for all the things that he has done, all the things that he's going to do in this ministry, because this is an end time ministry, and the world needs help.
Oh, yes.
We're all over the world. You see how all the things are going all over the world, and God has placed us in that area where we'll be able to go out there and help, because he has to be the one to call us. Otherwise, if you're not called to do this, you're not going to be able to make it doing it. So we thank the Lord for that, and then all these events that we've had, all of them have been a success, and wherever the God is, it's going to be successful.
Yes.
If he told you to do it, then you'll be very, very successful. And we have been very, very successful in this event, and this is growing more and more and more each and every day. And this morning, one thing, sometimes we as ministers, Christians, want to try to take the glory. But this morning I was listening to Andre Crouch, and he was talking about, to God be the glory.
Yes, that's the way it should be.
For the things he has done. And he has really, really worked in with us in this food bank, and it's consistently growing. People are steady joining food bank, and people are steady doing things that to help the food bank. When I say join the food bank, it's not a thing where you come and you buy food and whatever. You just become a member of the organization. And once you become a member of the organization, you pledge so much. And once you pledge, then we give you according to what you pledge. If you feel like you can handle 50 or 200 or 300 or whatever, that's what we give you.
You mean people, when you said 200?
Yes,
200 people.
Yeah, people, yes. And so it has been a great victory with this food bank. And sometimes back when just before we started back to Pine Bluff, I used to wonder, why was God sending us this way? And I found out once I got here, because I had gone to so many churches, because I'm able to fit wherever I go. And then finally he pulled me off into what we're doing now. And wherever he guides you, there's always going to be provision for you. This time of the year also is
the time of giving.
Yeah, is giving, yes. This time of the year is where we have one-time gifts of $30 members.
Let me ask you this. We're about to close for this second segment. We have 2 minutes here. And how many central staff people do you have working with you? I know you two are staff people. Are there any other persons who are like part of the central staff, the accounting system and all that? How you manage that?
It's volunteers.
Our total
but the
operation.
number, I'm talking about a number.
We have anywhere, and the video that we're going to show later is going to show you that.
Yeah.
Most times we'll have, if we're having events, we might have 30, 35, 40 people from the local area to come and serve as volunteers. Our day-to-day operations, we often have six volunteers. We're volunteers. Delta Food Bank has no paid employees, and I do want to mention that, because we talked about how we had received funding from Walmart and some others, but none of our money that we receive as grants goes toward paying any salaries. All of the money that we receive is used to purchase food and to transport that food.
I see.
Only.
That's why we ask for that dollar per day to help us with the direct cost.
Okay, we're going to have to stop in a second. So when we come back for the final second, do not let me forget that you all have some videos we want to show. And no doubt we might start with that. Let's start with that and make sure we have plenty of time to show them. You will introduce the videos and what do you have to say about them, and Mr. Kelley will take it from there.
All right,
All
we'll
right.
do that. We'll do that.
Be back in just a few minutes.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, I'm Tyler Perry. Do you know what hunger in America looks like? Well, it has many faces, and 15 million of those belong to children. Yet billions of pounds of food go to waste each year, and this is unacceptable. You can be a part of the solution. Join us in supporting the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks, which rescues our surplus foods and provides meals to many families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org today. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Dr. Antonio Hobbs, host of this educational program called The School Without Walls. My guests today are the Reverends Lewis and Jacqueline Ross. We've talked earlier about a video of the some of the activities. So let us start this segment with the video that you've discussed.
That's a good idea. The video, as you view it, will share with you some of the events that we've had in various counties and at various locations. So I believe that you'll be able to receive a lot from it and get a better idea of what it is that we do as Delta Network Food Bank. This is a picture of the Feed the Children truck backed into the Delta Network Food Bank offloading product. The truck has offloaded and is getting ready to return to its destination. Next, we're going to see the young ladies from Delta Eta, chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, providing community services. This is our event being held at the convention center where we're giving away food, clothing. Oh, the ladies have the meat already sacked and bagged, ready to distribute. Oh my, look at the lineup of all the people who were there even before we opened. This is a group of our volunteers who serve us so diligently. Another group of volunteers who came in and helped us tremendously. We are getting ready to look at all of the people who came for the Christmas event. Now these individuals are looking through the clothing that was available for them. This is another group of the same individuals who came for the Christmas event. We couldn't capture them all with one photo. This family has received Easter baskets and the other items, and they're very happy about what they received. More people are looking through the clothing. Look at those nice baby clothes that were donated. And this young woman is so happy to be here. She told me she enjoyed everything. Now we're looking at a group picture of the Delta Gems who have served us continuously. We're going to move over to Crittenden County. This is Pastor Ross and another pastor who was there at Crittenden County. And we want you to see the building that we were having to use at first. It shows us about the poverty and the new buildings underway. This group of people, they're lined up ready to receive food at the Dumas Food Pantry. And this picture shows two of the Dumas staff along with Pastor Ross and myself. And now we're going to move on over to War Memorial Stadium where Central Christianity Assembly were registering people for their annual event. The registration continues. Now we're going to see a picture of all of the individuals sitting under the tent, getting ready for the program that was prepared for them. And after that, we're going to see members of the Delta Network Volunteer Group getting ready to pass out food boxes. And I'll tell you next, this is the program. We are on stage getting ready to participate. We're going to move right on to show you again another event that was held March at the Convention Center where Tyson's donated a truckload of chicken and they worked hard to help us to distribute the food to those people that were there to receive. This is a group picture of all the Tyson workers, and I got it on the picture with them too. And now we see to my left the Tyson's 18-wheeler, and to my right the Salvation Army truck loading up to receive product. These were some of the workers. They were breaking down chicken, rebagging them, getting ready to give it out. And next we're going to move to Bishop Chester Thompson, who came to us from Camden, Arkansas, to pick up his product to take back to his pantry. Now we're seeing the Burns. They're getting ready to distribute food to the individuals that they serve. And oh, we're finishing with our children having fun at the annual Kids Festival.
You've just seen a wonderful video here. Mrs. Ross, briefly make the statement pertaining to this and whatever else you all want to say. We have about 3 more minutes.
Okay. Dr. Hobbs, I would like to appeal to our viewing audience and ask for donations of clothing, toys, household items, financial donations for the event that we're having on the 17th. We are a nonprofit organization. We have no paid employees. We operate on a volunteer basis. All of our labor is performed by volunteers. So whatever you donate will be given to those individuals who are less fortunate that we're serving during this activity. I'd like to remind you again that we are a 501c3 tax-exempt organization. All of your donations are tax deductible, and we will be prepared to give you a receipt for the value of the donation that you make. If you'd like to mail financial donations, I ask you to mail them to P.O. Box 20278, Whitehall, Arkansas 71612. That's P.O. Box 20278, Whitehall, Arkansas, zip code 71612. We're needing your help to be able to have the items that we need and to see our motto in performance. Our motto is, together we can make a difference.
That is so true. We have 1 minute, Reverend. Let's take advantage of that 1 minute, Reverend.
Okay. Like Sister Ross was saying, our motto is together we can make a difference, and also reaching out to the world through the ministry of Jesus. It's all set up reaching out to the world through the ministry of Jesus and helping somebody else to be establish themselves.
Yes.
So far as the things that we have to offer here. And I just want to once again give God the glory for the things He has done.
Wonderful ministry, because Christ teaches that we should feed the hungry, right?
Yes.
Clothe those who are naked.
That's right.
And seemed to me that you all are doing what the church is all about, where some of us are shouting and praying and having a good time in the Lord, but
Yes.
that's not Christ's purpose. We want to thank Randy Kelley, the TV manager here, for a wonderful job and an interest in what we are doing. May God bless him and his work.
Yes.
And thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Hobbs.
Thanks, sir.